Expo sets sail to somewhere over the rainbow, to the islands, to a sanctuary of peace, to lush, bountiful, diverse landscape on the Kona coast of Hawaii.
So grab your cup and learn about Big Up's CBD infused Kona Coffee. And it is time for CANNA World Expo's Coffee Talk with CBD industry pioneer Charles Vest. And with that, let me give you a little bit of background about Charles. He is a visionary for the hemp cannabidiol, CBD, as we call it, industry, beginning in 2012. Charles was appointed as the first vice president of communications for a hemp cannabis publicly traded company. Charles then launched hemp CBD into the network marketing industry on, of course, 4/20, 2014. Prior roles directing, affiliate marketing. For 9 years, Charles's efforts as an iconic advocate for CBD and hemp oil assisted families in dire need, aiding many families in states including Florida, Dallas, and Pennsylvania at a time when CBD was emerging. Charles created the phrase, "Don't move," in 2015. Since then, Charles worked tirelessly to aid families with access, absent of the fear of persecution in the US, Canada, Europe, Brazil, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. Charles's passion as a hemp CBD advocate is witnessed in media interviews including Fox News, CNN, and the Wall Street Journal. So, with all of that news, I have the incredible honor to know and privilege to present Charles Vest with Big Up CBD. And Charles, would you like to start off with what amazing things you can tell us about Big Up CBD Kona Coffee?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Awesome. I'm thrilled to have you here again.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sitting here looking at my screen, and I'm looking at 3 beautiful women and me. So I can't think of a better place to be than with you guys this morning. This looks like an episode of The Bachelor rather than, CBD coffee.
Shoot, we should have marketed it as that, right? The Bachelor episode of...
There it is. Which one is Charles going to pick? But anyway, I apologize if I'm like completely going to be like a little bit silly. I have I've been on a lot of Zooms and lives lately, and they could be kind of boring sometimes, and I just like to come in and just be upbeat and let's have some fun, and let's we can't touch each other, but we can still verbally touch each other and edify each other and be part of a community. So what's going on with CBD coffee? First of all, yes, there is a thing called CBD coffee. Yes, you can have your coffee and your CBD at the same time. That should make you excited right there off the bat. That should just like drop the mic. That's what I want. I mean, if your mouth's not watering right now, it should be, because not only do I help provide CBD and coffee, but I also provide CBD and Kona coffee. Now, Denise, what's special about the island of Kona? You know that the coffee only grows like in this 2 feet by 10 feet thing, like 2 miles by 10 miles. That's it. In a certain height, certain color beans, it's all like perfect for coffee. And when you add it with CBD, it's a game changer. And so I can't tell you how many people, and I'll shut up and let you ask me questions here, but I can't tell you how many people have called me and said, things like, Charles, I want to start a CBD coffee line. Can you get me 10 pounds of Kona beans? Can you get me 100 pounds of Kona beans? And the answer is yes, I can. Or you could just buy the coffee we already made. So, it's up to you how you want to do it. Big Up CBD is a THC free. That does not mean you get all the THC you want at no cost. It means it is a version that has no THC, zero THC, and it's all CBD. And so Big Up CBD is a CBD coffee, made with hemp and CBD, CBD from hemp, and also Kona beans from Kona. So there you have it.
One of the
Kona beans are from Kona.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes. Better than Kona from like Oregon or from whatever.
It actually makes all the difference. The soil makes such a difference in the bean.
Yes,
and the flavor of the coffee. Absolutely.
So the landscape of the Kona coast, it's pretty desolate. If you go into it, it almost looks like a lunar landscape with all of the lava, but that's what makes the soil so rich, and that's where the flavor comes from. So where the plantations are, it's 1,500 feet elevation, and every day the morning moisture comes in, and then it goes out, and then in the evening it comes back in, and so you have this flavor that's embodied in this incredible bean. And if anybody's ever been there to the plantations, you can roast your own beans there, and you can learn what a green bean is. See that picture right there, what Charles is showing? Hold on, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna continue.
Let me in.
Yeah. On the bottom right, there you go.
Thank you.
So what you're seeing with this bean is that it's not blackened. It's not burned so much that the caffeine content no longer exists and it tastes bitter. And if you get a really good Kona coffee, whether it's a blend or whether it's just straight up pure Kona, oh man, that flavor is intense just by the nature of how it's grown.
Absolutely. And so, I don't have to tell you that, coffee is cool and fun and you get a buzz from it, but I can tell you that there is a difference when you drink a Kona blend coffee. It's why people pay like more for Kona beans than they do for gold. I mean, it's that crazy. And there are certain markets out there that all they there's certain legislation that all they do is regulate if you really have a Kona bean or not, and there's like major fines if you say you have a Kona blend and there's not a certain percentage of Kona beans in there. So we are not only grown in Hawaii, we own the plantation. We distribute it through the agriculture of Hawaii, and we are a true legit Kona bean grower. And there's different grades if you guys are interested.
Oh, we're totally interested. Tasha, do you have some questions? First, I'd like to introduce Tasha Jackson.
Hello, Tasha.
Is.
Hey, again. Nice to see you.
She's the Radiant founder of Radiant Wisdom and Radiant Wisdom's inspired video series. She's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us as our moderator.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've got plenty of questions for Charles. So I'm going to go ahead and toss to you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So I'm kind of new to the whole CBD coffee. And, I know that CBD is great for health. And then as you just described, the way that the coffee is grown, not only does it have a great taste and flavor, but it sounds as if it's, pretty high nutritional quality. So whenever you put the two of them together, it sounds as if, I'm getting a product that is really great for my health, but you're talking about two different plants. How does the CBD get infused in the coffee beans?
Oh, good question. So, it's there's a certain process that has to do with temperature, water, moisture, and what happens is these beans at a certain age, a certain time in their life, when they're normally like green, they actually get dipped into a CBD mixture, and so they're coated with CBD, and then they're roasted at that point. So that's how the CBD gets infused. CBD. One of the questions that a lot of people ask that are real knowledgeable about CBD is that the temperature, and so at 188 degrees is when CBD actually loses its efficacy and actually starts to burn, and so that's why, a little side note, if you're taking CBD and you're using a vape pen and that vape pen is too hot, you're not getting the quality out of it because it's going up to 200 degrees or more. So we have a perfect tested process of infusing, if you will, or really just kind of coating the bean with the CBD oil solution, and that's how they become one.
Yeah, that sounds, as you were talking, I was getting the idea in my brain, and I should probably copyright this right away. So, a coffee bean coated in CBD, coated in dark chocolate sounds like
Oh,
a
that does
really
sound good.
nice treat to have. And it's all very healthy. It has a lot of plant compounds in it that are good for your body. And so we know all of these different, speaking about plant compounds, we know that there are these different compounds that help in alleviating some symptoms of some illnesses that we have. And so if people want to get an additional boost of phytocannabinoids in their coffee, then how would you recommend going about doing that? So so you have the coffee itself that has a huge amount of compounds, but then you also have the CBD. But what if people want an extra boost?
Then you just add it to your. I mean, we're talking about a liquid, and so a lot of people put cream, for instance, in their coffee, or they'll take some extra tinctures of something to add to their coffee, and it's the same with phytocannabinoids and other compounds. If you have it in a tincture form, in a liquid form, then just add it, and then sweeten the taste with stevia or whatever. That's an easy way to add it together. See, as long as it doesn't get above a certain temperature, then all of them can work synergistically together. And so many folks add different compounds and other cannabinoids to their coffee because they want the buzz of the coffee, but they also want the healthy aspects of the other cannabinoids that they're putting in, and phytocannabinoids.
Yeah, and I have not tried CBD infused coffee myself, but I have tried Kona Coffee, and I can tell you it is absolutely amazing. I'm not a regular coffee drinker. I'm a social coffee drinker now. Having taught for 10 years, I was a regular every morning coffee drinker, but now I decided, I'm just going to drink it every once in a while. But I think that CBD infused Kona coffee is something that might need to become a habit.
Absolutely. And coffee is a habit as it is. I mean, let's face it, when you get up in the morning and you have a sluggish beginning, it's just that caffeine boost is very needed for a lot of us. And the challenge is that, caffeine doesn't taste that good on its own, and a lot of coffees don't taste good either. But just imagine, the aroma and the atmosphere of maybe you can even add a little chocolate to your coffee, and macadamia nut sounds good. That's also from the island of Hawaii, and so I hope that everyone's mouth is watering now because coffee is just kind of a universal starting point, a foundation, and why not? Why not enjoy the taste while also enjoying the benefits?
Yeah, exactly. Well, those are all the questions that I had. I don't know if we have any other attendees that have any other questions.
Charles, could you talk about the temperature thresholds for coffee? Because I know that CBD is a sensitive molecule.
Yeah, I actually talked a little bit about it just now, but it's the thing about it, to make it really easy in layman's terms, is uh, to boil water is 212 degrees. Okay, for CBD, the temperature for its efficacy stops at 188 degrees. So you don't want to boil, right? You don't want to boil your CBD too much because you're going to lose its efficacy. So you want to, it's a better solution to keep it just a little bit under boiling, and percolating, is a great temperature to have it at, and you'll be fine with the results of it. You can't really destroy it, but it starts losing efficacy at certain hot temperatures.
Yeah.
So what about a French press or an auto drip, which for this particular blend of Kona coffee, and I know you've experienced it, which do you prefer?
I prefer a drip, and I also think that it's really a preference to how strong you want your coffee, your caffeine content, how, because you have bitter, and you have strong coffees, and everyone, it's like a steak. Everyone thinks differently about how they want it, and you still get the protein from it. So I just would not be afraid of the different ways you can, like, for instance, we're coming out with a tea. Well, that's going to be steeped, for instance, and we have K-cup version. Well, that's a different way for the coffee to be heated up, and all of them are fine. So the thing is that if you are a coffee drinker and you've had even really good coffee, you're going to know that you are drinking a good quality coffee, because we have it in 3 different strengths, for instance. And the trick is to make it so that the CBD aspect doesn't overpower the coffee taste. And that's the blend that we have come up with, is a blend that you still taste the amazing Kona coffee berry bean, and you don't have this CBD tincture type of taste to it, because that's the oldest thing in the world right now for CBD people, is to make it so their tincture tastes good, and they're throwing all kinds of stuff in with their CBD, and you guys all know this, and I have 25 different bottles of CBD here, tinctures, and only 2 of them taste great. The others taste horrible, and I just take it because I know I'm getting CBD. Well, why not get CBD in a tolerable, comfortable, delicious way by just having it in your coffee?
Good point. There was a question that came in through chat.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get to it really quick here for you, Charles. Okay, so the question is CBD infused or added post-production? And you answered post-production. But the other question is it isolate or is it full spectrum?
Good question. Isolate or full spectrum? The CBD that we use is a full spectrum CBD, but as you know, with lots of full spectrum, I'm going to get back down to the slide here. With lots of full spectrums, you want to still be under the 0.03 threshold of percentage for THC, and so you can't have a full spectrum without the minute traces of THC that is non-psychoactive, and so that's why we like the full spectrum. And also, full spectrum means that there's more cannabinoids than just CBD, and even the THC 0.03 below. And there's a lot of other cannabinoids and flavonoids and terpenes, and and all those great additional aspects of the amazing plant that come with the full spectrum, rather than just isolating everything out and only having CBD. I think that most of our fans here would rather have a full spectrum than an isolate, but it's your choice.
Fantastic. So and I know you mentioned it earlier, because some people are coffee drinkers and some people are tea drinkers. Do we have any ETA on when a tea line is going to come out?
Sometime in the first of the year. Remember that taste thing I was talking about? They're still getting it right, and they're not going to release it until it just tastes amazing. And I respect them for that. And so it's coming out. I mean, everything is ready. They're just getting the combination right for the taste profile.
So if we were looking at Big Up CBD to possibly be a holiday gift, do you know what the price per pound is? Does it fluctuate? Because I know that, varietals sometimes change.
Well, if you go to the website, Big Up CBD, you're going to find out that we have already lowered the price for everybody. It is now $24 a pound. It was $35. And we're also adding free shipping. You don't even need the code that I see that I have on the screen here. Now it just happens automatically. We've made it very simple for you to try out our coffee so you can get hooked on Big Up CBD. I know, that's what we're doing. And so go ahead and go to bigupcbd.com and you'll find the different types of coffee. You'll see the discount per pound of the coffee. And if you know someone, this is kind of like my final pitch. I know we're out of time. If you know someone who maybe wants to white label or start their own, brand to add to their existing brands. For instance, there's network marketing companies that need something that really can get their teams more excited, and adding a CBD coffee would probably be a good idea. You can just contact me, and I can get you the cost at a discount for buying up to tons of our product. And we are about to harvest, and all of you, cannabis folks know that harvest is, there's only a certain amount that you're going to get out of your harvest. And we are right now about to harvest and mill our new beans that we have produced. So it's an exciting time, and you can take part in that by just getting a hold of me. And you can get a hold of me by just contacting me through Big Up CBD, or you can go to Charles Vest, or charles@charlesvest.com. Sorry, I forgot my own email. charles@charlesvest.com, and we can and I can help you out there too.
You're so awesome, Charles. Thank you for sharing. Yay! My favorite Kona coffee for this episode of Coffee Talk.
Thank you.